So I am about to start Bible studying, and what I decided to go through is Proverbs. Proverbs is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. It's one of my favorite books in the Bible, because if you ever want wisdom, want to know how to carry yourself, what to add a part of your character, Proverbs is by far my favorite book. It's a lot of things in the Bible that's really good. So I didn't go to church today, so I said, let me go ahead and read Proverbs. But then I'm like, you know what, since y'all can go ahead if y'all want, y'all can Bible study with me. You can chime in and add some of the things that you see or pointed out. So I wanted to go over Proverbs. Proverbs teaches you a lot. It lets you know, like, fools, what they lack, what a wise person gain, trusting in the Lord, and how people perish because they lack the knowledge. So I'm just going to be reading it or whatever, and just going through some of the stuff. So again, please feel free if you want to chime in or comment, something like that. It doesn't matter. So this is probably going to be a very long video, because I'm just going to be reading Proverbs. I really need to Bible study. I really need to study my word. And you know what they say, iron sharpens iron. Some of y'all out there, y'all probably like, you know what, I need to get my Bible too. But I really feel like I love Proverbs, because when I ask God for wisdom, I'm like, Lord, I want to be wise. I want to be wise. I want to be wise like Solomon. And the Lord had to show me that Solomon too had a downfall. But I really like Proverbs because it really brushes you up on self-improvement, should I say. And it lets you know too, like, if you go down this road, this is what's going to happen. So it's just like you're learning from people who dealt with these things before. And so let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Can I turn this? Okay, get into this. Okay. So let's see. And I'm going to let y'all know too, I'm not the best reader in the world or whatever. Okay. So, what can we start right here? The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for attaining wisdom and discipline, for understanding words of insight, for acquiring a disciplined and prudent life. Did y'all hear that? For acquiring a disciplined and prudent life. I'm going to see if I can read it while I'm looking through here. Y'all can. Doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning. That's us, y'all. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance for understanding proverbs and parables, the saying and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. So right here, y'all, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So we want knowledge. So our first thing is the fear of the Lord. But fools despise wisdom and discipline. So those who don't fear the Lord and they despise wisdom and discipline, they're fools. It says it right here. Okay. Listen, my son, to your father's instructions, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They will be garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. I like that. You know, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie and wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay some harmless soul. Let's swallow them alive like the grave, and whole like those who go down in the pit. We will get all sorts of valuable things and fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us, and we will share a common purse. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths, for their feet rush into sin. They are swift to shed blood. How useless to spread a net in full view of all the birds. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They waylay only themselves. Such is the end of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the lives of those who give it. So that's letting you know right there. And we seeing today that it's a lot of followers out there that will go and be a part of a whole thug group, and all they want to do is rush and sin, steal, kill, and do all types of stuff. But this right here is letting you know why you need not to do it. Wisdom calls out loud in the street. She raises her voice in the public squares. At the head of the noisy streets, she cries out. In the gateway of the city, she makes her speech. How long will you simple ones love your simple ways? How long will mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? If you had responded to my rebuke, I would have poured out my heart to you and made my thoughts known to you. And this is what's going on today. It's like wisdom is out there, y'all. And yet too many people are just ignoring wise counsel, wise decisions, wise things, and wisdom. And she's calling out. And it's so true. And yet people are just ignoring it. And they're mocking too. They're mocking God. They're mocking his ways. And they're mocking wisdom. All right, y'all. But since you reject me when I call, and no one gave heed when I stretched out my hand, since you ignored all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh at your disaster. Does that mean, y'all, we can laugh at people when they fall? Wisdom do. I'm just reading. Okay. I in turn will laugh at your disaster. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm. When disaster sweep over you like a whirlwind. When distress and trouble overwhelm you. Then you will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but will not find me, since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. And that's what's going on right now. A lot of people talk, man. I've witnessed, y'all, a lot of people. I witnessed this guy say F God, and I said, oh, I gotta go. Because I felt like, man, Slim, you about to get struck by lightning. You don't even fear the Lord, that you just got a loose cannon as a mouth, your mouthpiece, you know. And it's like you're not fearing the Lord. Where did I get it? Since they will call to me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but will not find me, since they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. Since they will not accept my advice and spurn my rebuke, they will eat the fruit of their ways and will be filled with fruit of their schemes. For the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. So if we listen to wisdom, you know we're going to be good. But everyone else who does not fear the Lord, they're going to fall right in the pit. Their little rotten fruit that they have, they will eat the fruit of their ways. So this is basically letting us know that when we go on the right path, when we fear the Lord, when we follow the knowledge and the wisdom that he gives us, we're going to be good, y'all. Okay. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, and if you call out for insight and cry out loud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. So yes, we don't learn it ourselves. We don't go to school and get it, or elementary and middle school, y'all, or college. The Lord gives wisdom. Okay. And we serve and search for a hidden treasure. Then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. And from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds victory in the store from the upright. He is a shield to those who walk is blameless, for he guards the course of the just. Amen. And protects the ways of his faithful ones. So y'all, he guards us and he protects the ways of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair. Every good path, for wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will protect you. I like that. Discretion will protect you, and understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men. I like that. Isn't that something? When you're around a whole bunch of corrupt, wicked people, but wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse, who leave the straight path to walk in dark ways. And I've seen a lot of people who had straight paths and they decided to walk in dark ways, who delight in doing wrong and rejoice in perverseness of evil, whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. It will save you also from adulteresses. Do not withhold. Now we're going to start to get into our stuff, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me get to where I need to get. From the wayward wife with her seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth. And this is talking about an adulterous wife, y'all. From the wayward wife with the seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. Just like a lot of men too. For her house leads down to death, and her path to the spirit of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the path of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of good men and keep to the path of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. My sons, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity. Now get this, for all those who like prosperity, who like all of those abundant things, and you know that goes along with this word prosperity. I'm going to read that again. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you prosperity. And y'all, I'm trying to live until I'm like 104. And yes, I would like prosperity. So these are the things that we have to remember, is to not forget his teachings. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. See, a lot of people, a lot of men out here, y'all, they try to think that, oh yeah, they have a good name before men. But God said that you will win. What did he say? Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. So it's just not man, it's God and man. Because you may look good in front of man, but a hot mess in front of the Lord. Okay, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. And always acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Y'all, this is real. It will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. So when people start going through health issues, a lot of it is because of the spiritual side of it, of people being wise in their own eyes and not fearing the Lord. And they around evil, and they wondering why they got bad health and they ain't got no nourishment to their bones. But verse 7 says, do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of your crops. Then your barns will be fulfilled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over the new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves as a father, the son he delights in. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better return than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Not even that big rock. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the deeps were divided, and the clouds let drop the dew. My son, preserve sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of your sight. They will be life for you, an ornament to grace your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or of ruin that overtakes the wicked, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being snared. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. And do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it to you tomorrow, when you know you have it now. I've seen people do that, y'all. They'll be like, I could give this right here, even though I know I'm supposed to. But I'm gonna just tell them, look, come back and get it tomorrow, even though I have it on me right now. Y'all, this Proverbs breaks it all the way down. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. And that's something, because you have a lot of people that be like, they did it, knowing daggone well that person didn't do anything. Do not envy a violent man or choose any of his ways, for the Lord detests a perverse man, but takes the upright into his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks proud mockers, but gives grace to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools he holds up to shame. Listen, my sons, to a father's instructions. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. When I was a boy in my father's house, still tender and an only child of my mother, he taught me and said, lay hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or swear from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. Wisdom is supreme. Therefore, get wisdom, though it costs all you have. Get understanding. Esteem her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace on your head, and present you with a crown of splendor. Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I guide you in the way of wisdom and lead you along a straight path. When you walk, your steps will not hamper. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Do not set foot on the path of wicked or walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way, for they cannot sleep till they do evil. Now, this is something, y'all. I remember saying for the longest time that when you do evil, how can you sleep? And my mother brought this scripture up the other day and said that some people cannot sleep unless they do evil. And here it is, verse 16, for they cannot sleep till they do evil. They are robbed of slumber till they make someone fall. Can you believe that? They're robbed pretty much of their sleep until they make someone fall. They eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. The path of the righteous is like the first gleam of dawn, shining ever brighter till the first light of day. But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. My son, pay attention to what I say. Listen closely to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them with your heart, for they are life to those who find them. And health to a man's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Put away perversity from your mouth. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. And that's a lot too, y'all, because a lot of people, that's all they do is corrupt talk. That's all they know is to talk corrupt, speak corrupt, even gossiping, just being corrupt with all their ways. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Make level paths for your feet and take only ways that are firm. Do not swear to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion and your lips may persevere knowledge. For the lips of an adulteress drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life. Her paths are crooked, but she knows it not. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others, and your years to one who is cruel. Lest strangers feast on your wealth, and your toy enrich another man's house. At the end of your life you will groan. When your flesh and body are spent, you will say, how I hated discipline, how my heart sprung correction. I would not obey my teachers or listen to my instructors. I have come to this brink of utter ruin in the midst of the whole assembly. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your spring overflow in the streets, your streams of water in the public squares, let them be yours alone, never to be shun with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in your wife of your youth. I like that. A loved doe, a graceful deer, may her breast satisfy you always. May you ever be captive by her love. Why be captive, my son, by an adulteress? Why embrace the bosom of another man's wife? And this has everything to do with marriage, y'all. Because you have a lot of men and women who are leaving their spouses for another person's spouse. For a man's ways are in full view of the Lord, and he examines all his paths. The evil deeds of a wicked man ensnares him. The cord of his sin holds him fast. He would die for lack of discipline, lead astray by his own great folly. And that's amazing. Verse 23 said he would die for lack of discipline. And I've seen it. A lot of people, they lack discipline. They're so spoiled that they figure they could do anything and anything that they want to do because they haven't had that type of discipline. And because of that, he says in 23, he would die for lack of discipline, lead astray by his own great folly. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have struck hands in plague for another, if you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go and humble yourself. Press your plea with your neighbor. Hold on. Press your plea with your, what it says. Hold on, y'all. I think I end up skipping. Where am I? I'm going to read that again. If you've been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hand. Go and humble yourself. Press your plea with your neighbor. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the faller. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gathers its food in the harvest. And this is talking about like an ant. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. So this right here, verse 6 is telling us is that we need to consider the ant's ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gather its food at harvest. And ants do that, y'all. And this is amazing how the Bible knows exactly what the ant does. Thousands and thousands of years ago, and even people today don't even realize how smart and cunning the ant is. How long will you lie there, you sluggard, when you will get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man. A screwed and villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks with his eyes, signals with his feet, and motions with his fingers, who plots evil with deceit in his heart. He always stirs up decisions. Therefore, disaster will overtake him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. And you know what, y'all? I've met people like that. They'll look at you and they'll wink their eyes. And like he says, signals with his feet and motions with his fingers, who plots evil with deceit in his heart. He always stirs up decisions. I hope I'm saying that right. Destinations. Therefore, disaster will overtake him in an instant. When we know people like that, it's already basically said that disaster would take him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. That's messed up. I mean, hey, if you rocking like that, we know this particular person, destruction will overtake him in an instant, and he will be destroyed without remedy. Meaning they ain't even gonna have no solving problems for you because you done. There are 6 things that the Lord hates. I love this verse right here, y'all. Verse 16. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, and 7 that are distasteful to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deceives wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a man who stores up decisions amongst brethren. Now, I'm going to say this again because, y'all, I really believe that if for us to know the Lord, for us, first of all, the first knowledge is the fear of the Lord. That's when we gain our wisdom, is to have fear of the Lord, to know that he is God Almighty. And so to get on his good side, we need to know what are the things that the Lord hates. And it says it right here. There are 6 things that the Lord hates. 7 that are distasteful to him. Haughty eyes. A lying tongue, y'all. How many people y'all know be lying out the roof? Even some of the preachers, y'all. People who be putting on these nice suits, but they are lying like crazy. Well, guess what? God hates it. Hands that shed innocent blood. Innocent blood. Hands that kill innocent blood. And I said this in one of my videos. What is so innocent? Innocent blood. Those who have done nothing wrong. Even children, unborn babies, newborn, abortions. God hates it. A heart that devises wicked schemes. Someone who's always scheming to do wicked. Whether you be out or in court or wherever you are. But if your heart is scheming and devise to do wicked schemes, God hates it. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. Feet that are quick to grab a gun and shoot up people, or do something, or do harm to other people, or do evil things. God hates it. A false witness. Those who swear up and down they prophetess and all this other stuff. I'm just adding that in. But this is what he says. A false witness who pours out lies. A man who stirs up decisions amongst brothers. Pretty much what we like to call an instigator. God hates it. God hates it. My son, keep your father's commands and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them up. Bind them upon your heart forever. Fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For those commands are a lamp. This teaching is a light. And the correction of discipline are the way to life. So y'all, correction of discipline are the way to life. And so never get upset when you get disciplined because by correction. At one point in time, I couldn't stand it. I thought at one point in time, y'all, I knew everything. But you know how we call it now, constructive criticism. But you know what? I'm glad I learned the things that I learned, and I'm sure you're glad too. Keep you from the immoral woman, for the smooth tongue of the wayward wife. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captive you with her eyes. For the prostitute reduces you to a loaf of bread, and the adulteress preys upon your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burnt? Question mark. Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? Question mark. So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. Did y'all get it? If you sleeping with other people's wives, don't think you're not going to go unpunished. Men, do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his hunger when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he must pay sevenfold, though it cost him all the wealth of his house. But a man who commits adultery lacks judgment. Whoever does so destroy him. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. Wow. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. Wow, that's men. I heard that men are hard to forgive, especially when you didn't mess with a man's wife. He will not accept any compensation. He will refuse the bribe, however great it is. My son, keep my word and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard your teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on your tablets of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinsmen. They will keep you from the adulteress, from the wayward wife with her seductive words. At the window of my house, I looked out through the lattice. I saw among the simple, I noticed among the young men, a youth who lacked judgment. He was going down the street near her corner, walking along the direction of her house at twilight, as the day was fading, as the dark of the night set in. Then out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute with crafty intent. She is loud and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. Now in the street, now in the squares, and at every corner she lurks. She took hold of him and kissed him, and with a brazen face she said, I have fellowship offerings at home today. I fulfilled my vows, so I come out to meet you. I looked for you and have found you. I have covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, cinnamon. Come, let's drink deep of love till morning. Let's enjoy ourselves with love. My husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon. Okay, she was real, what we like to call fast and just out there. And we have a lot of women and men right now, they wait until their husband and wives are gone and they looking to see who they can sleep with. We see a lot of that too on TV shows today, right? With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once, he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer, stepping into a noose till an arrow pierced his liver, like a bird darting into a snare, knowing it will cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Don't let your heart turn her ways or stray into her path. Many are victims. She has brought down her slain, are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not accept. Wait a minute, did I just go? Did we just read that already? Oh, we did. Sorry, y'all. Now, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths. Many are victims. She has brought down her slain, are as mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? Or the heights along the way where the paths meet? She takes her stand beside the gates leading into the city. At the entrance, she cries out loud to you. O men, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, gain understanding. Listen, for I have worthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true. For my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are faultless to those who have knowledge. Choose my instructions instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice of gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior, and perverse speech. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have understanding and power. By me kings reign, and rulers make laws that are just. I like that. By me princes govern, and all nobles who rule on earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is bigger than fine gold, Would I yield surpass choice silver? I walk in the ways of righteousness, along the paths of justice, bestowing wealth on those who love me and make their treasures full. The Lord brought me forth in the first of his works, before his deeds of old. I appointed from eternity, from the beginning, before the world began. When there were no oceans, I was given birth. When there was no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills I was given birth. Before he made the earth or its fields, or any of the dust of the world. I was there when he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizons on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea its boundary, so the waters would not overstep his command, and when he marked out the foundations of earth, then I was certain I was the craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day and day, rejoicing always in his presence. Yeah, y'all, wisdom been around, y'all. Wisdom been around. Rejoicing in his whole world and delighting in mankind. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instructions and be wise. Do not ignore it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my door, waiting at my door. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to repeat that. That was verse 35. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. But whoever fails to find me harms himself. All who hate me love death. So people who hate wisdom, they're going to find death because they love it. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewed out its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has set out her maids, and she calls from the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come in here. She says to those who lack judgment, come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse. Do not rebuke a mocker, or he will hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Instruct a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man, and he will add to his learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Did y'all hear that? Let me just rewind that. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through me your days will be many. So you want many days? Y'all want to live a long time? Verse 11 says, For through me your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will be rewarded, will reward you. If you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. The women folly is loud. She is undisciplined and without. I hate when I'm doing that. I'm up here reading and something comes through. Where am I? Let's wait for it to focus. Okay, we're waiting for it to focus. So, y'all, we're reading Proverbs. Okay. The wicked man earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. The truly righteous man attains life, but he who pursues evil goes to his death. The Lord detects men of perverse hearts, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. Y'all, this right here when I hear this, I think about Love and Hip Hop or some of these reality shows. These beautiful women but they show no discretion. It's like a gold ring in a pig's snout. Is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One man gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous man will prosper. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. People curse the man who hoards grain. The lips of the righteous know what is fitting, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. The Lord abhors dishonest scales, but accurate weights are his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. I think I read this part already. Yep, I did. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more, and I think y'all get it far as Proverbs. Proverbs is a very good book in the Bible because it really shows you what happens when you are on the good side, the evil side, and what a gossip will do, how an unfitting wife, husband, it keeps you on your toes. So I really like Proverbs. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. He who wins souls is wise, y'all. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but the Lord condemns a crafty man. And man cannot be established through wickedness. Did y'all hear that? You cannot be established through wickedness. So for those who like to sell their souls to this music industry and all of this other industry, you can't be established. I'm going to read that again. A man cannot be established through wickedness, but the righteous cannot be uprooted. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones. The plans of, did y'all hear that? I'm gonna have to repeat that for the wives, for the righteous wives that pray for their husbands. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in the bones. So you disgraceful, talking back, loudmouth wives that don't care about your husband's feelings and like to put him last, you're like a decay in the bones. I didn't say that. The word said it. The plans for the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescue them. Wicked men are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. And man is praised according to his wisdom, but men with ripe minds are despised. Better to be nobody, yet have a servant, than pretend to be somebody and have no food. A righteous man cares for the need of his animals. I love Solo and Faith and the whole crew. But the kindest act of wicked are cruel. Dag. I wonder why is that? So when wicked people do something kind, it's cruel. So therefore, what you're really doing is actually something horrible. He who works his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lack judgment. I wonder how many people out there playing these fantasy games and chasing these fantasies. You lack judgment. The wicked desire the plunder of evil men, but the root of righteous flourish. An evil man is trapped by his sinful talk, but a righteous man escapes trouble. From the fruit of his lips a man is filled with good things, as surely as work of his hands reward him. The way of a fool seems right to him, but a wise man listens to advice. A fool shows his ignorance at once, but a prudent man overlooks an insult. Oh, I like that. A truthful witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. Reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only for a moment. There is deceit in the hearts of those who plot evil, but joy for those who promote peace. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in men who are truthful. A prudent man keeps his knowledge to himself, but a heart of fools blurt out folly. Folly, folly, folly. The light hands will rule, but laziness and enslaved labor. An anxious heart weighs a man down, but a kind word cheers him up. A righteous man is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The lazy man does not roast his gain, but the delight man prizes his possessions. In the way of righteousness there is life, along with the path is immortality. A wise son heeds his father's instructions, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of his lips is a man enjoys good things, but the unfaithful have a craving for violence. He who guards his lips guards his life, but he who speaks rashly will come to ruin. The sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the desires of the delights are fully satisfied. The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked brings shame into grace. Righteousness guards the man of integrity, but the wickedness overthrows the sinner. One man pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, yet has great wealth. A man's riches may ransom his life, but a poor man hears no threats. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found in the house who takes advice. Dishonest money dwelling away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. He who scorns instruction will pay for it, but he who respects a command is rewarded. The teaching of wise is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. Good understanding wins favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. Every prudent man acts out of knowledge, but a fool exposes his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a trustworthy envoy brings healing. He who ignores discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. A longing fulfilled is sweat to the soul, but fools detest turning from evil. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but companion of fools suffer harm. Misfortune pursues the sinner, but prosperity is the reward of the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. A poor man's field may produce abundant food, but injustice sweeps it away. He who spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is careful to discipline him. The righteous eat to their heart's content, but the stomach of the wicked goes hungry. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. He who walks is upright fears the Lord, but he whose ways are devious despise him. Fool talks brings a rod to his back, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of the ox comes an abundant harvest. A truthful witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. The mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Stay away from a foolish man, for you will not find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways, but the folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at making amends of sin, but goodwill is found amongst the upright. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and joy may end in grief. The fatherless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good man rewarded for his. A simple man believes everything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps. A wise man fears the Lord and shuns evil, but a fool is hot-headed and reckless. A quick-tempered man does foolish things, and a crafty man is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evil men will bow down in the presence of good, and the wicked at the gate of the righteous. The poor are shunned even by their neighbors, but the rich have many friends. He who despises his neighbor's sin, but blessed is he who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray, but those who plan what is good find love and faithfulness, and hard work brings a profit. Y'all, so we read Proverbs, and so I know this was long. This was like an hour long. So if you have not read Proverbs, I would definitely do this, because this really brushes you up on you yourself, a better character and wise counsel. And so, yeah, Proverbs is one of my favorite books in the Bible, because it lets me know if I'm on the right path. It lets me know when sometimes I feel like, I feel like people who do wrong things, I feel like, are they getting away with it? But Proverbs was like, nope, soon you're going to see it. And I've seen it before. I've seen people fall because of their evil acts. I mean, you may not see it right then and there, but eventually it will come around. And so that's why I really like reading Proverbs. And Solomon did Proverbs, but this really I really like it. So I'm skipping a little bit right here because we're about to go on to something else, but these are some of the things that I highlighted. Proverbs, what is this? Verse 16. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. I mean, these are some of the things that I highlight. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. And this is real. Like when people get sick, and it is real. It is so real. Other than medicine, it says a cheerful heart is good medicine. So when a person is sick, if they have a cheerful heart, it is like medicine to their body. It's good medicine. But a crushed spirit dries up the bones. He who answers before listening, this is his folly and his shame. You have a lot of people, they don't even listen, but they feel like they got the daggone answer to it. And I'm just reading certain chapters, and what is this? Chapter 16, verse 16. Verse 21, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who live it will eat its fruit. So life and death is in the power of the tongue. You are what you say, what you think, and what you see, and what you speak. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. A poor man pleads for mercy, but a rich man answers harshly. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. I'm just reading y'all to highlight it. Okay, so we are Proverbs chapter 19, verse 2. It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way. A man's own folly ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. Wealth brings many friends, but a poor man friends desert him. And I love this right there. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who cherishes understanding prosper. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will perish. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over a prince? And man's wisdom gives him patience. It is to his glory to overlook an offense. A king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on grass. A foolish son is his father's ruin, and a quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping. House and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. I like that right there. I'm a read that again. I put God right there. That's my father. Houses and wealth are inherited by your parents. Okay? So your parents gave you a house and some wealth. But a prudent wife is from the Lord. That's big. House and wealth are inherited from the parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Some people don't even realize when God gives you a good thing. Yeah, your mommy and daddy may give you this, but this right here was from the Lord. Laziness brings a deep sleep, and the shiftless man goes hungry. He who obeys instruction guards his life, but he who is contemptuous of his ways will die. He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward him for what he has done. Y'all, that's why I always like giving to the poor. I don't shout and be like, da-da, da-da, hey everybody, I just gave to the poor. But the Lord delights in it. Like the Lord loves it, and he loves it when we do things in secret too. Now what's this? A hot-tempered man must pay the penalty. If you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to have to read that again. That's, what is that? Verse 19. A hot-tempered man must pay the penalty. If you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Meaning they never learn their lesson. So you done got him out of this trouble, and then he goes back and do it again because he's a hot-tempered man. And a lot of people I don't hang with, and I used to hang with them, and they used to be hot-tempered people, always getting into fights all the time. This word is true and is living and is true to the T. Listen to advice and accept instructions, and in the end you will be wise. Okay? That's why I said he who is wise run with wise counsel. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. What a man desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar. Come on now. The fear of the Lord leads to life. Then one's rest constant, untouched by trouble. The sluggard buries his head in the dish. He will not even bring it back to his mouth. Then let's read. Flog a mocker, and simple will learn prudence. Rebuke a discerning man, and he will gain knowledge. He who robs his father and drives out his mother is a son who brings shame and disgrace. Seen a lot of them. Stop listening to instruction, my son, and you will stay from the word of not. Stop listening to instruction. Stop listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the word of knowledge. Yeah, okay, I get it. So if you stop listening to instruction, you're going to stray away from the word of knowledge. So we need to be listening to instruction, because if you do so, you're going to stray away from the word of knowledge. A corrupt witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Penalties are prepared for mockers, and beatings for the back of fools. Wine is a mocker, and beer is a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. And we've seen a lot of people that's led astray, getting in car accidents, getting into fights, losing all types of stuff. And if you are led astray, what does it say? Wine is a mocker, and beer is a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. A king's wrath is like a roar of a lion. He who angers him forfeits his life. It is to a man's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. I see that a lot on TV. Don't y'all see? Even people you even know, they so quick to fight or get into a fight. They're fools. A sluggard does not plow in season, so at harvest time he looks but finds nothing. The purpose of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out. Many a man claims to be unfailing love, but a faithful man who can find? Who can find a faithful man, y'all? The righteous man leads a blameless life. Blessed are his children after him. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all evil with his eyes. He start looking like, who can say I have kept my heart pure? I am clean without sin. ? Differing weights and differing measures, the Lord detests them both. Even a child is known by his actions, but whether his conduct is pure and right. See that, y'all? Even a child is known by his actions, by whether his conduct is pure and right. So they even look at a child. And nowadays we say, oh, they're just children. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep or you will grow poor. Stay awake and you will have food to spare. It is no good, says the buyer. Then off he goes, boast about his purchase. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are rare jewels. Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if he does it for a wayward woman. Food gained by frauds tastes sweet to a man, but he ends up with a mouthful of gravel. Make plans by seeking advice. If you wage war, obtain guidance. A gossip betrays confidence, so avoid a man who talks too much. Y'all, this one right here, I took this into, like, have you ever met somebody that be talking? You like, man, I can't tell you nothing, because I know you be talking about me behind my back. A gossip betrays confidence, so avoid a man who talks too much. If a man curses his father or mother, his lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness. That's why I don't understand when people be sitting up there being rude to their parents. Like, don't you know that these things will happen? An inheritance quickly gained at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. Do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, and he will deliver you. Amen. Because I'm going to tell you sometimes I feel when people do me wrong, I'm like, I'm going to get them right back. But do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, and he will deliver you. The Lord detests different weights and dishonest scales. Do not please him. A man's steps are directed by the Lord's. How then can anyone understand his own way? How can anyone understand his own way when God is directing you there, right? It is a trap for a man to dictate something rashly and only later to consider his vows. A wise king winnows out the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. The lamp of the Lord searches the spirit of a man. It searches out his inmost being. Wow. Love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair, the splendor of the old. Blows and wounds cleans away evil, and beatings pure the innermost being. Y'all, again, I'm reading Proverbs. It's been over an hour, and I love Proverbs, y'all. I do. I'm about to wrap this up. And what I'm going to do is just read the highlighted ones on this page, and that's pretty much it. He who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and he who gives gifts to the rich both become poverty. What? Let me read that again so I can understand that. He who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and he who gives gifts to the rich both come to poverty. Oh. You want to give gifts to the rich, you're going to go broke. And if you're trying to oppress the poor to increase the wealth, and he who gives gifts to the rich, both come to poverty. Both of y'all going to be in poverty. So now we know, don't give gifts to the rich, and don't be oppressing the poor, because you too will both come to poverty. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Yeah. Notice how I went ahead and highlighted that, because I was like, I gotta get rich quick. Don't have the wisdom to show restraint. Cast but at a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely spout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. That's like that billionaire. Did y'all hear about that guy? He lost, I think, like all of his money in the stock market and walked away broke as a joke. Do not speak to a fool, for he will scorn the wisdom of your words. I'm going to read this one right here, y'all. Do not move an ancient boundary stone or encroach on the fields of the fatherless, for their defender is strong. He will take up their case against you. When I read this, do not move an ancient boundary stone, it reminds me of Egypt. Remember when those people started going over there messing with King Tut's tomb, and the next thing you know, they all started dying because they didn't know it had a curse over it. So that reminds me of that, or encroach on the fields of the fatherless, for their defender is strong, and he will take up their case against you. That's right. Apply your heart to instructions and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish him with a rod, he will not die. Punish him with a rod and save his soul from death. See, y'all, this is what we talk about, sparing the rod, spoil the child. And the Bible clearly talks about disciplining our children. My son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. And that's amazing, because when we see these so-called celebrities and how they got ahead by doing the most wicked things, some people can get jealous and be like, how they going to do this and how they going to get by? But it's saying, don't even trip off of them. Don't even be jealous for them. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Meaning, we're not going to be cut off, but they are. Listen, my son, and be wise, and keep your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rage. And if y'all notice, if y'all ever seen these reality shows, what's the first thing they do? They sip, they drink, they all intoxicated, looking a hot mess on TV, or even people that we see around the way. But again, this is Proverbs that I'm reading. I'm skipping right now to some of the stuff I highlighted. Like a madman shooting firebrands of daily arrows is a man who deceives his neighbor and say, I was only joking. This right here, y'all, is so true. Have you ever had somebody who did you wrong, and then when you confronted them about it, they was like, I was just joking? almost ran you over with a car and said, I was just joking, did the most to you, but didn't say it, I was just joking. Like, and I'm going to read it again. Like a madman shooting firebrands or deadly arrows is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. Without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. That is real. As charcoal to embarrass, and as wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome man for kindling strife. Y'all, if you have never read Proverbs, please read Proverbs. You will start to find a lot of people that have some interesting characters be right here in the Bible. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Like a city who walks, I like that. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. You know, those are prideful people when they say, I have to seek my own honor. You just so on yourself that you seeking your own honor. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you would be like, do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you will be like him yourself. So, if you ever heard somebody saying it's like arguing with a brick wall, or if you argue with a crazy person, it's gonna make you look crazy too. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. I guess it's like you have to stoop down to their level. What's this say right here? I can't. Can y'all see that? Like cutting off one's feet or drinking violence is the sending of a message by the hand of a fool. What does that mean? I'm going to read that again, because you know sometimes you got to read it twice to get it. Like cutting off one's feet. Okay, somebody who cuts off their feet or drinking violence is the sending of a message by the hand of a fool. You're getting a message from a fool, right? Like a lame man's legs that hang limb is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. I'm telling you, fools are something. Like trying a stone in a sling is the giving of an honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkyard hands is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. That, have you ever seen somebody and you know they not right? They're a fool and they sitting up here trying to quote scripture and not even quoting it right, and not even you wondering, where did you even get this from? Like an anchor who wounds at ransom is he who hires a fool or a passenger by. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Yep. Have you ever seen a dog throw up and then go back and eat it? Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? ? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Wow. I'm going to say that again. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The sluggard says, there is a lion in the road, a fierce lion roaming on the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so a sluggard turns on his bed. The sluggard buries his head in the dish. He's too lazy to bring it to his mouth. I guess when they say sluggard, I just think about a drunk person. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who answers discreetly. Like one who seizes a dog by the ears is a passer by who meddles in a quarrel not his own. I like that. It's like people who always in other people's business. It's the same like one who seizes a dog by the ears is a passer who meddles in a quarrel not of his own. Pretty much mind your business. Oh yeah, we did. We read this. I feel like I'm going back and forth because I'm just reading all out. But when y'all get a chance, read Proverbs. That was my Bible study for today. I hope y'all got what I got from it. But Proverbs really touches you or brushes you. Y'all got to excuse my Bible. But it really brushes you up. So that was my Bible study for today. If you didn't go to church on Sunday and you sat and listened, thank you. This was very long. But it's scripture.